Well, I'm Michael Connaughton, and we moved to Minneapolis in 2012, and we moved into this house last fall. And we discovered when we got here that the previous owner was not very interested in maintenance. So there were a number of things that had to be done. I've worked with electricians. I mean, I've owned homes for 40 years, and some good ones and some not so good ones, but we feel like we've really got what we need here. I called Edison, and they came out and gave us a good estimate, and came when they said they would and did the work. Oh, it's fantastic. We called, and the first time that we had somebody out, it took a while because it was sort of in a high season. So, but they came exactly when they said they would. They called ahead, so just make sure we were home, and gave a good look at what needed to be done, and set up an appointment and came back and did it. Gave us an estimate that was right on, right on target. I guess I've called enough that I recognize John's voice now. I discovered this company through one of those websites. I don't remember which one, but I picked a couple that had good ratings, and Edison was the first one that responded, and I've never had any reason to change. Oh, probably an 11 out of 10. I mean, let's talk about can I say a few things about what Dial and his people did here? Well, we needed to have some extensive work done for our garage because the previous owner had sort of, I guess it had been a long time since it had been wired and it wasn't up to code, and turns out that the entry box downstairs wasn't up to code either, so we had to completely rewire the whole thing, or they did. And originally we had thought to go through a crawl space under this room. Turns out there was no crawl space. So they had to do a conduit all the way around the building and so forth, and they had to dig a trench to the garage because the old line wasn't working very well. What happened was when the ground got wet, the electricity cut off, and there were tree roots, and it was really quite a job. And the thing that I admired about the job was it still got done on time, even though it wasn't done the way we'd originally planned it, and the original estimate was right on target. I think that was, I don't know, I'll say generous. I appreciated it that I didn't get nickeled and dimed for extra money because it took them longer to dig the trench or something. When I deal with any contractor, the first thing I'm looking for is integrity, and of course quality of work, and honesty about estimates, and the quality of the people that come out. I don't want people yelling at me and telling me I'm stupid or anything like that, even though they might be right. And the other thing I liked about dealing with Edison was I asked questions. I mean, why are you doing this? Why are you doing that? And I always got an answer. It was never you wouldn't understand this. This is technical stuff. I mean, I was really pleased with that because there are a lot of things I can't do. Pipes and electricity are two of them, and so I really depend on professionals to do that. Long-term investment, if it's done right, it's 20, 30 years. Well, and of course, the work that I've had done has all been done during the coronavirus. So they came in masked and gloved, and we observed distancing and so forth. And they weren't really working in the house that much, but when they came in, they always had their booties on. I was very pleased with the attention to the building, and the basement was cleaner. At least the parts of it they worked in were cleaner than when they came. So I should have maybe had them clean up everything else. I don't know. Why don't you sweep that corner too? I already have, and to my son and to some other people who ask me, and yeah, a contractor that does good work should get called back, and they will. You need people that know what they're doing.